Linux is a free open source operating system with a GNU General Public License. There are so many distributions with individual unique graphical user interfaces for all actions you want to accomplish. But all of them share one common thing: terminal. Of course, all these actions can be accomplished with a terminal. So terminal, how to open it? A hotkey, Ctrl-Alt-T, and the following window will open. If for some reason this hotkey doesn't work, there is another way to do it. Press Windows key and then type terminal, and then most likely find the terminal in there. So as it was in Windows in the command line, if you want to find some commands, you can type help. The same thing applies in here. You can type help and there will be a lot of commands that you can start with. By the way, as you can see, I typed with the capital H. So remember, capital letters do matter in terminal. In CMD it really wasn't the problem, but in a terminal you have to make sure that you type with the correct letters. And if you wanna find some sort of command additionally, what it does, you can type man and then command if you want to find out the description of this command. Let's try it. And as you can see, I now open manual for this specific command add, and there is actually a description for two commands, add user and add group. And as you can see from this title, we are going to add users and groups. You can find out a short description about this command, synopsis. You can scroll down, and then there are options. Obviously, as it was in previous command line, in terminal there is also some rules to follow. First things first, you have to type command, then you have to type an option, and then you have to follow some rules with these options. It varies from command to command, obviously. If you want to exit from this menu, then you can press Q. If you want to read a short description of this command, you can type following message: man K, and then command you want to find out. And as you can see, we find out the short description about this command, what it does. But I will remind you, this is a short description. If you want to see the full picture, man and then command if you want to find out something. For a lot of commands to work, you need to use su or sudo users. Su stands for superuser and sudo superuser do. If you don't use these commands, then following error will appear. Let's try it. As you can see, following message appears: add user only, root may add users or group to the system. This is why you need use a command sudo or su. If you type su, it will ask for a password and you will be in a root mode, and next commands will work with no problem. But if you wanna use a specifically root for one command, you can use a sudo. And the better practice is use a sudo because it forces you to think, what are you typing in the terminal? Let's try it now. As you can see, supervisor asked me to type my password. I typed the password. Following command created a user group with a username. And the specific user group is with the ID 1001. This command also created a directory for this user. And now it asks me to type a password for this user. Don't worry if you don't see anything while you are typing a password. It does register your key presses. If you want to delete user, you can use a command sudo del user and then username. And as you can see, this command deleted the user, and if you want to create a user without specific group, you can do it as well with the following command: sudo user add and then username. Don't worry, there will be no messages. If there is no messages, your command was successful. But now if you want to create a password for this user, you need to type following command: sudo password and then username for the user which you want to change a password or add a password. Again, remember, terminal won't show any keys that you are pressing, but it will register your key presses for the password. Now we created a user without group. We need a group for the user, and following command for this action is sudo group add and then group name. Again, if the command is successful, there will be no messages. If you want to delete a group, you can type the following message: sudo delete group name. Again, you can probably think how I added a command, a previous command. A previous command you can add by pressing up on your keyboard, and the previous command will show up, so that you don't have to type it again. And now you can see the message: removing group name, done. It means that you successfully deleted a group. Let's add a group again. So now we created a user group and we created a user. Now we need add this user to this specific user group. The command for this action is usermod. First of all, let's find out what this command do. Again, you can type man command and then specific command, man and usermod. And now you can see this command does modify a user account, and we are interested in some actions, adding a user for a specific group. And as we can see, an option for that is A, add the users to supplementary groups. Use this only with the capital G. As I was saying, you have to be careful with the capital letters. Now you see why. Let's try it now. Sudo user mode, then option A space option capital G, then group name, then username. Successful. There is specific situations when you need to select specific users and then change parameters in these users. Su and then username. If you want to display available groups, you can do this with the following command: get end. The get end command stands for get entries from name service switch libraries. A quite long name, but the command thankfully is quite short. Let's see. By the way, you don't need a sudo command for this. And then the name or option is a group. And now you can see there is following information. There is a group name. X stands for the encrypted password, and 0 means it's an identification number for this group. So yes, there is an IDs for each group, and you can assign these IDs to the users. Let's look further with this command. Let's have a look with the specific user with this getEnd command. Now you can see there is a lot of users, but we are interested with our last user, which will be most likely one of the bottom ones. And as you can see, there is a username. This specific username have a encrypted password. He have an user ID number, a group ID number, user full name, a home directory, and the login shell. If you don't want to see additional information for these users, only usernames, you can type following command with additional options. Remember again, capital letters, it's important. And now you can see all the same users, only without additional information. So for the last, I have a task for my viewers. Make a group with the 2 users who have no administrative rights. Make a user who have an administrative rights. If you completed the task, type down in the comments what was your solution for this task.